Hi class, welcome. So today I'll be covering one of our labs converting a VMDK file to a virtual disk image, a VDI file. So this lab will require you not to use eLumen here at Maryville University. You will need to do this on your local system. If that's not an option or possible, what I would say is try to simulate the process within your APA formatted paper and just use images and explain through a narrative process how you would go about doing this. So that'll take a little bit more research. You might be able to find some great articles online to help you with a manual process like that if you can't do it live. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this now and kind of guide you through grabbing the file, how to convert it using VirtualBox. And I will call out, so my environment's all Apple. I don't have an Intel chipset for a Windows system available. So for me, I'm going to get an error at the end because with an image that you've captured, whatever chipset it was on, you'll need that type of chipset in order to open up the virtual device to do forensics examinations. So I'll get an error again. I'm on an ARM processor because my MacBook Pro is running an M1 chipset. So now Macs are mostly M1 or M2. And again, this was captured from an Intel chipset. So just as a special call out. So you'll have to go into the shared class OneDrive. You'll need to download, and unfortunately it's not labeled in a week 3 assigned folder from the original designer of this course. If you look at the week 4 folder, there's several VMDK files. So if you had trouble, just look at some of the folders. I'm going to download the first one here to utilize in this lab. So I've already downloaded it. It takes about anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your internet speed, in order to download that file. Now, once you have VirtualBox up, and depending on what version of VirtualBox you have, they may look different compared to what I'm showing. So again, I'm on a MacBook Pro M1 running a beta version that came out early 2023 in order to load VirtualBox virtual machines on a Mac with an M1 or an M2 processor. They haven't put out an update for it for quite a while, and it is hard to find on their website, but it is available still. So let me remove this older one here real quick. So what you would do is by default here, when you come in, you'll click on your options to go to the Media Manager. Within Media Manager is where you would want to load. And again, I had this previously loaded, so let me just remove it. So when you come into it, it's going to look blank, right? So we're going to click Add to add a device. It's in my Downloads folder. There's the file that I downloaded from the shared OneDrive, the VMDK format. And then once it's in here, on an older version of VirtualBox, you may have a merge or another option, but I'm just going to click Copy. And this is going to prompt me for a real simple GUI interface to do the conversion to a VDI, as the assignment said for the lab. So go through the defaults. The default should be fine. Let it run. Should take about 30 seconds. Once it's done, it will put in the VDI file. And then at that point, we can start the process to load the virtual machine. So now that we have it here, I'm going to get out of the Media Manager. I'm going to go to the main screen. And then here, I'm just going to click for creating a new virtual machine. Call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it test. It's going to see the defaults. Those should all be fine. You can, more than likely, you're going to be working with Windows images. The default should be fine. We don't know the specific version yet. If you need to dedicate it more memory, like if I wanted to give it more memory here, you can change it. Or if I wanted to give it more processing power, I could do that. Click Next. And then under the existing hard disk, there's the converted file. Because it was done in the VirtualBox Media Manager, we can already see the file to use. If you couldn't see it here, you could click on the yellow icon, browse to wherever you put it on your system. Maybe you dropped it on your desktop. And if the Media Manager within VirtualBox doesn't see it, you can utilize that to find it. So since we already have it, we're going to go ahead and click Next after picking the VDI file. Gives you a summary. We'll click Finish. And so now we're ready to fire up the new virtual machine from that image that we converted from the VMDK file to a VDI file here using VirtualBox. So we'll go ahead and double click on it. We'll give it a chance to start. Gives you some warnings about your keyboard and cloning your keyboard settings over. So I can confirm it's a Windows system, right? So that's part of the assignment. This screen here tells me this is an older version of Windows. It's more than likely a Windows version 7, not a newer versions of Windows 10 or 11. So again, just working with Windows long enough, you can tell. See probably some graphical swirls from the Windows logo. But again, it won't fully load and fire up because I'm on an ARM processor, not an Intel chipset. So I do get an error. But that's how you do it. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, just reach out. Have a good day.